Our next reader is Mark Wunderlich, a poet, a professor, and a beekeeper who writes beautiful things about where and how we live. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, everyone. Look at all these beautiful people. I'm so grateful to Nina for asking me to be here, so grateful to be on this beautiful roster of writers and musicians and performers. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have found these last weeks really confusing. And I find the kind of language that's being used, the kind of false starts of news stories that are now making the rounds, I'm finding all of it incredibly confusing, and I'm having a difficult time seeing through the smokescreen to some sort of truth. And every time I try to apply logic to what it is I'm seeing, I keep getting confounded and I keep getting lost. And so a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I was not going to start my day with panic by reading the news first thing in the morning. And I decided to open up a book of poems and to read what poets have always done, which is to clarify and refine and find the truth in small things, and also to take the long view. So I've been reading the great German language poet Rainer Maria Rilke, and thinking a lot about how he lived through the First World War and continued to write some of the most brilliant and important poems of that century. I'm going to read a poem here today, kind of in honor of riverkeepers, which is based on a poem of Rilke's, in which he began, it's his great poem called A Bowl of Roses, in which he was looking at some terrible scenes that he was seeing on the streets. And instead he turned away from that and he looked at this bowl of roses that was sitting on his table, and he started to think about the beauty of the natural world as a way of gaining clarity and of centering himself. I wrote a poem based on that poem of his. It begins like his, but it doesn't end like his. It's called Amaryllis, after Rilke. You've seen a cat consume a hummingbird, scoop its beating body from the pyracantha bush, and break its wings with tufted paws before marshaling it whole into its bone-tough throat. Seen a boy, heart racing with cocaine, climb from a car window to tumble on the ground, his search for pleasure ending in skinned palms. Heard a woman's shouts as she is pushed into a police cruiser, large hand pressing her head into the door, red lights spinning their tornado in the street. But all of that will fade. On the table is the amaryllis, pushing its monstrous body in the air, requiring no soil to do so, having wound 2 seasons' rot into a white and papered bulb, exacting nutrition from the winter light, culling from complex chemistry that tints and fragments that tissue and pause and build again the pigment and filament. The flower crescendos toward the light, though better to say despite it. Gores through gorse and pebble to form a throat, so breakable, open with its tender pistils, damp with rosin, simple in its simple sex, to burn and siphon itself in air. Tongue of fire, tongue of earth, the amaryllis is a rudiment, forming its meretricious petals to trumpet and exclaim. How you admire it. It vibrates in the draft, a complex wheel bitten with cogs, swelling and sexual, though nothing will touch it. You forced it to spread itself, to cleave and grasp remorseless, open to your assignments. This is availability. This is tenderness. This red plain is given to the world. Sometimes the heart breaks. Sometimes it is not held hostage. The red world where cells prepare for the unexpected splays open at the window's ledge. Be not human, you inhuman thing, no anxious, no foible, no hesitating hand. Pry with fiber your course through sand, point your whole body toward the unknown, away from the dead. Be water and light and land, no contrivance, no gasp, no dream where there is no head. Thank you.